Hello, my friends, and welcome to FISHTORY. I'm Alexander Williamson, as always, your host. So we have some breaking news. eBay is no longer going to allow live fish sales. Now, they will allow killifish eggs, Madoka rice fish eggs, rainbow fish eggs, I suppose, if they're labeled, and bird and reptile eggs if they're labeled. Now, that brings on the whole other issue of, you got to transport them before they hatch. You got to keep them warm. There are challenges. We'll do a whole other video on that. But I wanted to let you know, yes, it's true. In the next 30 days, eBay will no longer allow live fish to be sold. Now, this is also, unfortunately, listing that it will allow feeder insects allowed. And it says mealworms, beetles, insects, and then it says, brine shrimp. So we were wondering, what about invertebrates? So I contacted eBay. And I looked at the Reddit boards the last 24 hours or so, and I have some answers to clarify things a little bit more, but a little bit of this is still in flux. So the rest of the video will be clarifying these details, and then I'll also be sharing with you guys my top 3 spots to buy fish online right now. If you're looking for a spot now that eBay is not an option, granted, you can't sell your fish at these places, but people like Dan's Fish, which I will be mentioning, and I will have discount codes for, he will buy fish from you if you're breeding in quantity. And that's pretty awesome the way he does that still, like an old school fish shop. But let's take a look right now at the actual eBay official announcement and listing. I got an email, and a lot of people got emails if they've ever listed on eBay before. So here are the details, and right after that, we'll be going over my top 3 spots that I recommend and I advocate supporting as a hobbyist if you're going to buy fish online. All right, you guys, here it is from the horse's mouth. New article 1 minute ago. What's the policy? They're getting rid of live animals, including pets and vertebrate feeder animals, no longer allowed. In the next 30 days, these postings will all be taken down. Many people who've had postings in the past of live animals, like me, I've posted guppies in the past. I've done a number of other things. It's been a long time. However, I even got an email saying they're no longer going to be listed. Now, I asked for help, and I was curious here because it says sellers may be allowed to sell the following live animals: bees, ladybugs that are not endangered or threatened species or on the CITES list, which, of course, you can't sell anything on the CITES list. Feeder insects, for example, crickets, roaches, earthworms, mealworms. And then it says fertilized eggs, we'll get to that in a moment. And then sea monkeys. Now, sea monkeys is not a thing. I mean, well, neither are earthworms, right? It's not a Latin name, so it doesn't help us specifically. So some people were thinking there's going to be some wiggle room, pardon the pun, with saying worms or saying sea monkeys, that maybe they're going to allow microcrustaceans, or maybe they're going to allow crustaceans, maybe they're going to allow some shrimp or invertebrates or snails. A worm and a slug are similar. Is a slug and a snail similar? So, it's something that people have been a little unclear on, but as far as I've found out so far by messaging the help team over at eBay, it appears that they are going to not allow anything that they consider a pet invertebrate. So probably, Caridina shrimp, things like that will not be okay. Most likely Daphnia, scuds, and things like that will be. But it looks like snails and shrimp are most likely going to be listed in here as well. So where are we going to go for buying things online? Well, if you know what's out there already, you know that there are a few options. And Aquabid is one of them that is still up. Sadly, Get Gills, which used to be run by the owner of Dan's Fish, Dan, it just came down on January 31st, but it was a free site to do this on, and it just ended. It just wasn't, it was costing money, basically, and it was a cool service, but it wasn't sustainable. Plus, he's got an incredible website, which we'll take a look at, and I even have a code for you guys if you want to use it over on Dan's Fish, if you want to try out Dan's Fish. But right now, it looks like eBay is no longer a place to buy and sell live fish. Now, the exception is eggs. So we can sell, eggs from killifish, from Medaka rice fish, from rainbow fish. Any fish that has a gestation period of, 5-6 days or more, feasibly you could still list and sell that as of right now. Is that going to change? I don't know. They seemed a little bit like tentative. They just said, stay posted when I asked about that. And they also said that, further information would be coming out and detailing all of this. And then I will give you guys some options of where else you could go online right now to get these things, where you can still buy and sell fish. There's a couple places and some great alternatives where you can only buy fish, but places that I always want to support. Let's do some self-promotion here. I'm going to talk about Dan's Fish. Now, Dan's Fish, an incredible site if you want to buy quality fish. Really, really good. Ethically, the shipping, I mean, he's not going to ship when it's too cold. Right now, there might be a slight delay because of how cold it is in some parts of the country and just because of backups. If he can't do it overnight, he's not going to do it. But he also has a veterinarian on staff, and he definitely checks every fish way more than any other person I've ever met in this industry. And I've been all over the country. I've talked to people all over the world. I don't know anybody who has the standards that Dan does. Now, Dan is also the guy who set up getgills.com, which was a free site for folks to use about selling fish and buying and selling fish. He's all about it. So check out this customer service rating, 4.94 out of 5. So if you're looking for a fish, this is where you should get your breed stock. This is where I would get anything, like if you want to breed cichlids or you want to breed that new rare Corydoras or tetras, come here, pay a little bit more, order them, and know that you will never have an issue with a wasting disease or a virus or a parasite like you do all the other places I find online. That can be an issue. There's plenty of great places, Wet Spot, Imperial Tropicals, but I've even seen those places have issues with the wasting disease or with, things like worms or parasites down the road from wild-caught specimens, especially if they're benthic or they eat from the bottom. So things like loaches, things like, gobies. But Dan's Fish, I've never had any of those issues whatsoever, and he carries very unusual and rare stuff. Now, if you want a discount from this website, just use the code ALEX, my name. You can use all caps, or you can use ALEX with the capital A. That will get you a discount on any of your first time orders, and returning orders, it'll give you a small discount. But it also helps me out, so I really do appreciate it. Try it out, see why 3,007 other people have already responded with positive reviews. Alright, my friends, the next place I'm going to recommend is Moonlight Aquatics. This is a local shop to Seattle, and he sells online. He imports from all over the world, but he has connections in China and Southeast Asia that no one in America has other than him. He has these brand new fish to the hobby, like these new gold line panda loaches, and whereas most people would sell panda loaches for $25-30 a pop, he's selling them for $13.99 for the original kind. Right now they're sold out, and only $20 for the brand new kind. I mean, I've seen them go for $30-35 for the old kind at local fish stores. Now, he is an importer, and he does kind of flip them around. Now, he will quarantine them, he will feed them, he will treat them if he sees anything wrong, but it's not like Dan's. He doesn't have a veterinarian on staff, but I would say that I've had really good luck with him, but I still quarantine stuff. Just being totally honest, he has the lowest prices, however, of anyone I've found online or at stores, and he's selling like zebra plecos, the L46s, like for real old school zebra plecos, for $119 if you use the discount that our channel has, which is FISHTORY 10, which is capital FISHTORY 10. FISHTORY 10. Use that, you'll get the discount. He's always bringing in cool, rare stuff. He was the first in the country to have these blueberry snails, and now he's got these new orange variety. So check him out. He's great, and I really do support him. A great alternative out there if you want to get the most bang for your buck and you still like weird, rare, exotic fish. Alright, now last but not least, we have Aquatic Arts, another place that's been around for over a decade. I've worked with them for over 7 years. They have all sorts of great fish, and usually they sell them in packs. So it's not $18.99 for the Emerald Dwarf Rasboras here. You get 3 or 4 of them. Same with these little micro green neon Rasboras. For $19.99, you're gonna get 3 or 4 of them. So just check out their listings. They're always really fun. Look, little pea puffers, $6.99. And yeah, of course, you got to pay for shipping. Everything's overnight. They really care about their animals. They support local causes. They have really cool invertebrates. They do snails, isopods, they do all sorts of shrimp, and they're breeding in-house now much more than ever before with even their fish. So use the code FISHTORY15. You'll get 15% off, and really, hopefully some of these places can tide you over if you're looking for a place to shop while something is getting worked out other than eBay. But this is a place where I've been sourcing shrimp for a long time. If I don't buy it from Garden of Eater Shrimps, I buy it here, and I use the code for my website, which is FISHTORY15, FISHTORY15, and that'll get you 15% off, and sometimes they'll even throw in some little freebies and things. But they carry things that no one else does, and they do a great job of it. Really good customer service as well. All right, guys, I hope this helps, and I hope the news isn't too devastating to y'all. I know to me, I'll be taking it in stride and just moving along and talking to friends, networking, and so forth. All right, you guys, that's what I know for now. If you guys know any more than this, or if you hear it from the horse's mouth, if eBay is somewhere you work, or you know someone there, and you know some info that I don't know or got wrong, please let me know. This is a breaking story. But as always, thank you, you guys. I couldn't do this channel. I couldn't do what I do full time and bring you guys breaking news like this in the hobby when it comes out. Hopefully getting it as accurate as possible, as quick as possible. If it weren't for you, if it weren't for the members, for likes, subscribes, shares, you know all the things that help. But thank you. At the end of the day, just watching is plenty. Thank you so much for that and for being awesome. I'll see you guys next time on FISHTORY.